Yo, what's up, my rockin' rebels? This is Howlin Jim Jaxon, your guide through the wild soundscape of 1.12 FM, Bandito Radio. We're not just a station, baby. We're a vibe. We're a movement. A home for the restless and the creative. Ow! Here at 1.12 FM, we are cranking out the freshest modern beats, the hottest indie tracks, and music that speaks to your soul. But that ain't all. We're about the culture, baby. Dive into deep conversations about toys, collectibles, and the stories behind them. Served up in podcasts that hit harder than a power cord. And if you are a fan of classic storytelling, we've got modern spins on old-time radio plays that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. So tune in, turn it up, and let 1.12 FM Bandito Radio be your soundtrack for a world where music, toys, and imagination collide. All right, baby, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. This is the Stereo Flowers and their song, Eternal Worlds. Turn it up, baby. Listening to Bandito Radio, 1.12 on your FM dial.
No back of the bus, we lift the bus. Ridiculous, no need to fuss on what we did for us. No handouts, we hand out hands. We've been bout plans of 40 acres of land. They can't cage us. I'm so Luke Cage, amazing, gracious enough to spare the brute fade unless they really want it. And I ain't ducking from it, I'm static. We shock them till they get it, I guess they gotta have it. The roadblock of the block, small enough to be a dock. Smooth as miles with the jazz, Captain Sam with the plan. I can, I guess I'm really good in the jam. The rest is up to Rick when he come through with the band. We got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say that they ain't on the people. Repeat, bro. We know we got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say that they ain't on the people. Repeat, bro. I'm melanin man, defy your felonious plans. I know you jealous, but damn, don't you dare insult my intelligence. Sam was never my uncle, just a super villain. Hopped in the phone booth, protect the women and children. Frankly, Franklin, we the most level-headed. Peanuts to an elephant, don't let it regret it. We up, boy, you better know your hate is pathetic. I'm loose fox with the toys, so you know I'ma get it. Neighborhood was Krypton, get green like it's John Stewart. Make me pull out my ring, homie, and it's on. The blue marvel I do, homie, if I'm on with the steel. They walk a blade, is here to convey that we know we got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say that
time for
Repeat, bro.
fate rarely calls upon us at a moment of our choosing. I'm ready.
Don't forget to tune in later for Mira's Morgue of Midnight Madness. That murderous, mysterious mistress of mayhem is always cooking up some fancy tales, whether it be thrillers, sci-fi, or a little horror for you. Some classic radio to keep you entertained, baby.
I'm not entirely happy with this.
We are back, outlaws and outlawhettes. You've tuned in to Howlin Jim on Bandito Radio. That's 1.12 on your FM dial. Looks like we've got a caller on the line who's got some questions about your favorite curvaceous, customizable muscle car of mayhem, the Bandito Action Vehicle, which you know is designed for toy photographers and action figure storytellers, baby. Caller, you are on the line. What is your bodacious Bandito question for Howlin Jim today, baby? Lay it out for me and your fellow listeners.
Oh my God, Howlin Jim Jaxon, I can't believe I got through. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, love it, baby. What's your question for Howlin Jim today?
Why does the Bandito have that matte black finish? Why isn't it shiny like the rest of the vehicles?
Well, my lively, lovely, loyal listener, that's because the Bandito was designed for customizers and toy photographers. That magnificent matte black finish is so you can custom paint your Bandito action vehicle any color you like, right out of the box. Not to mention that soft finish takes the lighting for toy photography outrageously well, baby.
And is it true that you're actually going to be able to swap out parts and to customize it even more?
That's right, baby. The Bandito is a vehicle for your creativity. And the fine fellas at Odd Frog Entertainment want you to tell your story. The Bandito can be a lowrider, a street rod, a road warrior, and who knows what else. The story is up to you, baby. So the only question is, how will you, Bandito? Listening to 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Sup, nerdy? It's our turn, baby.
Look, if you ain't never been to Party City, don't you ever come to Party City, cause you wouldn't understand Party City. You're also dealing with the head of sanitation, the head of transportation, and the head of reclamation in Party City.
It's rap music from parts unknown, where the arts are disowned by the hearts made of stone, where parts of the throne have parts made of bone, and the rest were discarded from Discovery Zone.
It's rap music from Atlantis. Dive deep and you just might understand this. Got the merfolk puffing seaweed when they see me. Real G's in the pinch like Sebastian the Crab. It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they signed with the Sharpie. It's rap music from the land of Oz. Lollipop guild that they stepping wrong. Rolling on dub down the yellow brick road. Ruby mic in my hand, no place like home.
It's rap music from abandoned strip malls, addicted to love and they're going through withdrawals. It's a cold world, better dress for a brisk fall or go down swinging like Pitfall.
It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they signed with the Sharpie. It's Rap music from the south side of Baldur's Gate. We roll crits on the ops when we regulate. You wanna hate, there's a line, it's a bit of a wait, but here's a fireball right to your face. It's
rap music from the fringe of the fringes. We import the binges and export syringes. Swerve to emerge on the verge of the purges. Power corrupts, then it surges.
It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they sign with the Sharpie. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV.
Disclaimer, the members of the party City Machineguns would like you to know that they in no way condone or use methamphetamines. However, for those of you who have a feeling either way about the use of methamphetamines, they are currently in the RV. So, if you do not want to be around methamphetamines, please stay far away from the RV. Thank you.
Meat in the Arby's, meth in the
You are
RV.
tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
I'm not entirely happy with this.
Officer.
This is Howlin Jim Jaxon, and you are listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio.
Yeah. Yeah. Success. 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 Don't nobody rap no more, no more. Spit facts no more, no more. Them niggas used to go back and forth. They don't even do that no more. They don't even do that. Something I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't mad at y'all. Success. 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 Don't nobody rap no more, no more. Spit facts no more, no more. Them niggas used to go back and forth. They don't even do that. They don't even do that. Something I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't mad at y'all. Success. 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 Success is a beautiful word. Niggas ain't rapping, they playing with words. Lying on tracks, but that shit is absurd. It's a fact that niggas ain't putting in work. They just pop them a perk and then lay down a verse. How many niggas gon' die in your verse? Please come up with something different for the listeners. When you rap, you should be painting a picture. It's not a fact if you never did it, my nigga, that's cap. Cause you just a witness. Just rap about the way that you living. Then let's see how many people gon' listen. Real rap, I bet it's a difference. Let's take it back to the beginning when niggas would battle instead of dissing. When niggas would actually handle business. Had to get up just to go get it. There wasn't no handouts. We stood on our block till we ran out. Hustling just to keep food in our damn house. That's what a man bout. Not chasing no damn cloud, trying to stand out. Success, my nigga. Success, young nigga. Don't nobody rap no more, no more. Spit facts no more, no more. Them niggas used to go back and forth. They don't even do that no more. They don't even do that. Something I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't mad at y'all. Success. 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 Don't nobody rap no more, no more. Spit facts no more, no more. Them niggas used to go back and forth. They don't even do that. They don't even do that. Something I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't mad at y'all. Success. Success.
K.A.
Success.
Yeah. Learned from my brother at first. When I got older, got worse. Look at me now. When I was 21, nigga, I thought I'd be dead in the dirt. Man, I was moving at work, moving, avoiding a hearse. Trying to get money like it was the first. Bodies were dropping like it was a curse. Bodies were dropping like it was a curse. Weed man, moving that shit like it was in season. Niggas get shot for no reason. Gotta thank God that I'm breathing. Gotta thank God for my family. Wasn't for them, I'd be losing my sanity. Searching and looking for clarity. Life was a movie, these niggas be living a parody. Tell me you real or you fake. Only the real can relate. Niggas are snakes, taking my life as a date. Pulling my 9 and I hit him with AIDS. Ain't a killer, but don't push me. You ain't a killer, boy, you pussy. Speaking of pussy, your girlfriend just called me and she tryna give me a goodies. Get her mad, get her mad. Get a bag, get a bag. Pull up in a Jag with the windows cracked with my name on the tags. I'm back in the lab. Wrote this with no pen and pad. It don't get no realer than that. Gotta keep killing these tracks until we in back of the back. Success.
Are you ready for a new era of storytelling? Advent Comics is here, delivering hard-hitting action, unforgettable characters, and worlds that'll blow your mind, baby. Dive into the gritty streets of Southside, where heroes walk a razor's edge between justice and vengeance. Or join Dalton Malone as he hunts in the darkness where no one else dares. From cosmic battles to street-level justice, Advent Comics has it all. The stories are bold, baby, and the action is relentless. The adventure never stops. Advent Comics. The future of comics starts now. Are you ready?
We're getting out.
tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Et ouais, c'est pas mal.
Passer de temps en temps.
Moi, j'habite dans le 2e arrondissement.
C'est pas long. Je viens te chercher avec la BM direct.
Pourquoi t'as une BM?
T'aimerais avoir quoi comme voiture?
Bah, je sais pas conduire.
one-way flight. Heat around the corner and I'm never coming back. You could come with me, but you gotta tell me fast. Yeah, the plane is running. Left the danger zone, now so on to Spain or something. Yeah, we ain't get a chance to change to something new. Who knows what this world will take us to? But we gotta go right now. Living in and out of hotels, but it's better than a grindhouse. Safer than the streets and it's warmer than a cold cell. Leaving on a jet plane, they hopping on our coattails. Fitting me a villain and I play the part so well. Had the crowd cheering so they fitted me with more shells. Hero gotta die in the end cause that's an old tale. Dying in the arms is the only way I have it. It's a love story but I said that it was tragic. Winter rose turning into summertime sadness. This is Jack and Rose when they rode the Titanic. Hit an iceberg in the crowd in the panic. Ripped off my chain and got us lost in the static. Pulled me to my feet, now I'm slipping through the back. Trying to keep it moving but I'm dripping through my vest. Told her baby stop, this as far as I'ma get. Wanna keep it going but I can't catch my breath. If I really can't never say nothing else, this the best way I ever could've killed myself.
Now we're playing in the middle of the night, don't you mind? I'm here to kill somebody, don't you mind, don't you mind? Now we're playing in the middle of the night, don't you mind? I'm here to kill somebody, don't you mind, don't you mind?
You are tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Figure collectors all around the world should have collectibles that pose and bend. Take your action figures out of the box, and now let's play pretend. Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay. Big on card collecting is not for me. I crack them open right from the start. Get your cutout styles and the effects. Make articulated comic book art. Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay. Don't judge me when you see my cart is loaded. A new wave of legends hit, how do you not know this? And if you're gonna ask, are they to resell or open? Let me ask you, why the hell they give it double jointed elbows? Why the hell they give it double jointed knees? The heads look up and they give it ankle pivot with ab crunch in the T-joints. Man, I take them out of the box. Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay, it's okay, have fun, you're away, posing action figures, it's okay.
Well, hello there. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow!
I'm not entirely happy with this.
outlaws and outlawettes. You are listening to Howlin Jim, and you are on 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Hey, what's the word of the day? What is the word of the day?
C-M-G-N-I-T-E.
Today's
C-M-G-N-I-T-E. P-C-M-G-N-I-T-E.
You know what today's
P-C-M-G-N-I-T-E. 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 P-C-M-G-N-I-T-E.
Namaste.
Lifting this piece and everybody like a
holiday.
Get in these streets with what I have to say like
Remedy.
I got the ways to ease pain.
Identity.
All in my cave like Bruce Wayne.
Quantity.
Got a lot of reasons I'm doing it hard.
Astronomy.
Scorpio season, I'm really in charge.
Caffeine.
Stay awake, baby, yo, you'll miss this.
Gangrene.
So sick when I step in this business.
Always looking clean when I pop up.
Trouble.
Overcame the struggle, leave a ma struck.
Pray.
Some moments of quiet introspection.
Slay.
Every look from every look in my direction.
Rover.
A name you say twice for an invite.
Clover.
4-leaf, lucky for my insight.
Pants.
What I wear inside the club, avoiding taboos.
Rank.
Gotta say again, thanks for the statue. You know, it really is a nice statue. I know when we were seated it was copper, and over the years the weather's hit it, it's made it change colors, but it still looks great. And peeking out of the crown, they reopened it in 2015.
Handle.
Moments where I'm certain who I am.
Randall.
Moments where I'm cunning and a ham.
Suit.
That's an Andy Warhol muse.
Fruit.
Like an ego when it's getting bruised.
Massage.
Deep tissue till the knot's out.
Dressage.
Horses dance and clap until they drop out.
Rumble.
That's how I scuttle through this nightlife.
Bumble.
Wanna catch a buzz, you better swipe right. Continent.
Yeah, they play my music in 7 of them.
Condiment.
Sauce for all my dogs, I'm spending on them.
Captivate.
How I do it every single time.
Extrapolate.
They confused trying to find why.
Efficiency.
Never waste a pass, I word perfect.
Calligraphy.
Pen is fancy ass, I curse and cursive.
Circulate.
Get mine another time round this track.
Terminate.
Thumbs up, baby, I'll be back.
What's the word? What's the word? Yo, that's my word. What's the word? What's the word?
Yo, you have my word.
What's the word? What's the word? You can take my word. What's the word? What's the
I
word?
never break my word.
What's the word? What's the word?
Yo, that's my word.
What's the word? What's the word? Yo, you have my word. What's the word? What's the word?
You can take my word.
What's the word? What's the word? I never break my word.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Ow! 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio.
Vilified. We outside.
The most sinister villains of...
Little boys need to play outside. I make noise cause I'm main worldwide. In the Royce cause I been my ride. And enjoys where I take my time. Cause little boys need to play outside. I make noise cause I'm main worldwide. In the Royce cause I been my ride. And enjoys where I take my time.
Fresh from the shootout, cooking in the kitchen, but I ain't putting food out. Y'all can't shit, cause you gotta get my boot out. Fresh in them Nikes, but I'd rather pull the suit out. Y'all better cool out, man, I'm in and out of drama till I'm in Balenciaga. We gon' find the right designer, he gon' dress me like a king. When I slid up right behind her, she addressed me like a pimp. She say, Daddy, where you going? Bitch, I'm going to the sink. All my fingerprints is filthy when I'm coming from the bank. You ain't gotta ask no questions, you already know it stink. And them bitches might miss me if they blink like, boy, I heard you sing. Bitch, I had you hitting the high notes when I'm pulling on them strings. Call me Casanova, Vance was busting out the Boca. I was in the mix, trying to take this fucking city over. They gon' wanna drag me out of Max's, cause I'm balling out like Maxie. I just know they gotta catch me and I'm fast.
Little boys need to play outside. I make noise cause I'm main worldwide. In the Royce cause I been my ride. And enjoys where I take my time. Cause little boys need to play outside. I make noise cause I'm main worldwide. In the Royce cause I been my ride. And enjoys where I take my time.
We interrupt your regular broadcasted program to bring you this breaking news. Panic erupts as what can only be described as a massacre that took place moments ago, leaving 112th Street riddled with victims near the 112th Street Chop Shop. The Bandito was seen speeding away from the scene, police in pursuit. Stay tuned to 112 FM for more details as this story unfolds. And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
not entirely happy with this.
Move me with you, baby. Yeah. I just wanna move me with your loving. Yeah.
She cruising past the fashion district. My homies told me not to risk it. She wants my love, my mind was twisted. I started feeling underdressed for this shit. What can I do to make the first move if I don't know you? For instance, I don't need to know where your lips have been. In any universe you attend, the way the wind would blow your hair, you're in my mind, you're everywhere. And I would try to hide it underneath designer wears, knowing I can't afford the finest. You worth the world and I was just trying to remind you, you don't need me to co-sign you. I'll travel the world to find you. If I move for you, tell me you move for me. If I move for you, just tell me you move for me. If I move for you, tell me you move for me. If I move for you, what you gonna do for me? What you gonna do? Ride with you. Oh, just to ride with you. Gucci, Chanel, Prada or YSL. I promise shorty not to tell. She love everything Noel. Fendi, Dior. I buy her Louis, she call me Amor. She look in my closet, it look like a store. She look in my eyes and wonder some more, some more.
Well, hello, listener. You are tuned in to 112 on your FM dial. Bandito Radio. Oh, all right, baby. You know what time it is. Your old pal Howlin Jim Jaxon is back in the saddle and riding those radio waves like a wild coyote under a neon moon, baby. You're listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio, the only station that blasts through that static and straight into your soul. But tonight, I got something real special lined up for all my fellow toy-loving, plastic crack-collecting, action figure-obsessed outlaws out there. We are talking about a brand spanking new made-for-radio show that's gonna hit harder than a steel-toed boot at a brick wall, baby. I give you Action Figure Frequencies. That's right, a sonic deep dive into the world of toy collecting, custom sculpting, vintage gold mines, and everything in between. Whether you're out there hunting for that holy grail figure or just trying to relive that Saturday morning magic, we've got you covered, baby. So you need to strap in, turn up that dial, and get ready to ride those radio waves, because Action Figure Frequencies is about to shake those shelves and rock the toy aisles. This is Howlin Jim Jaxon, baby, signing you into the frequency. Action Figure Frequencies. Let's roll. Ow!
Bandito Radio presents Action Figure Frequencies with your hosts, Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm.
That's right. Nation to nation, coast to coast, from our toy rooms to your living rooms, with two of the sexiest hosts alive on the airwaves. This is Action Figure Frequencies. And I will say episode 1 on the Bandito Radio 112 FM premiere episode. And also, if you're looking for us for the video wise, it's going to be on the mighty SKN Shadow Nose Network over on YouTube. Chet, how the hell are you doing today, bro?
Well, sir, I've got to say it is great to be here on Action Figure Frequencies. I'm excited about it. We are, you know, I do have to say we are two of the sexiest hosts alive. And it's just great to bring pure sex appeal to Bandito Radio, which is 112 FM. We are excited to be here. And yeah, man, hey, we're going to see how this goes, and you'll love it. Anyways, doesn't matter. Whatever we do turns to gold, so I'm happy about being here. Welcome to the inaugural Action Figure Frequency show, my friend. I'm excited.
Man.
How are you doing?
Doing all right. Looking forward to this and everything. Brief rundown. We're going to go over a couple of topics today. So, through the hour or the hour and a half or the 2 or however long we decide to go, because we can do that because no one else tells us what to do. We do it. We set the bar. But we're going to run down one, AI and toy photography. That's becoming a little bit of a niche online. I've seen all through, Instagram and some other people. There's people, little blowback of people making these AI figures that are turning into photography, and there's little complaints. I don't know why, but that's happening. We got some pre-order news. Yeah, there's Maximum Spider-Man is dropping this week, and a lot of people think it's going to cost you maximum bucks out of your pocket, but we don't think that. From there, we got some conventions coming up that will break people.
I like
down.
Conventions.
Some conventions that we're even going to. So, we'll definitely let you know on that. And everything else from the world of toys, toy photography, toy customizations. We've got you all covered here.
Hey, look, we even decided that you needed a weather report. So welcome to the world of Action Figure Frequencies. You too can be part if you join Action Figure Frequencies over on Shadow Nose Network on YouTube for just 99 cents, because we don't want to gouge you. Nope. But there's more to come on that, sir. I'm excited about this. We got a lot of things we got to cover today. We got some amazing sponsors of the show. I mean, this is going to be a great show for you. If you've seen anything with Toybox Chronicles and Pixel Plastic Inc., then you know that we are the best damn toy show. So I'm excited, sir.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And that leads us into our first sponsor of the day, Chet.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, we want to thank everybody over at our friends over at Flex Band X. They are fantastic. That's where I get my headbands from. But all right, plastic junkies, let's talk about something serious. Sweat. That's right. You're deep in toy hunt, elbow deep in clearance bins, mid-negotiation with a dude who thinks his loose, sticker-worn G1 Optimus Prime is worth retirement money, and suddenly, boom, your forehead turns into a slip and slide. That's where our friends at Flex Band X comes in, the only headband engineered for extreme toy hunters, collectors, and hardcore display architects. This bad boy is made of hyper weave fabric, meaning it absorbs sweat faster than a scalper at an exclusive drop. Isn't that right?
That's right, Chet. Flex Band X isn't just functional, it's stylish. You get the precision grip fit, so it stays locked in place whenever you're posing with action figures, setting up dioramas, throwing your hands online, and forget to mention any kind of broken knee joints.
Man, they got this thing covered. Plus, not to mention, it comes with an exclusive design like Battle Damage Black, Grail Hunter Red, and limited edition Chase Variant Gold. Oh, and for the hardcore collectors, they even have a mint in box, MIB sealed version. But let's be real, you're wearing this, you're not flipping it, right?
So if you're ready to level up your collecting game, head over to flexbandx.com. Use the code MADFLEX for 15% off your first order, because let's face it, sweaty toy hunters don't get fine grills. They just fog up their glasses.
That's right. Flex Band X. Collect hard, sweat less.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Flex Band.
Great sponsors, man. I'm excited about Flex Band.
That is absolutely cool, brother. Well, like I said, again, we're rolling into, the other parts of the day. And guess what we got to start off everything else with? It is time for Hot Points.
Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points.
That's right, everybody. We're talking about the hot point, the hot topic that's running through the toy world everywhere. And if you know me, I'm real passionate about some toy stuff. So I'm just going to let you know right now, we are talking about AI and toy photography and how some people think AI is fucking it up. And then other people think that, it's an enhancement. And here's my thoughts. Okay. I think that there is a time and place for everything. And while, some of these people here, this is what bothers me. You have some toy photographers who use practical effects, right? Mm-hmm. They use practical effects.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue that if they do 100% practical effects, maybe AI is probably screwing it up a little bit. But for the average person that shoots toy photography, right? They just put it down in front of it's like a one-dimensional fucking shoot, and they don't do any backgrounds, they don't do anything else. And so now you have apps you can use to cut out the action figure that then generate the background to put behind the action figure. And if you think that's gonna ruin action figure photography, well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree here, because if you're good at it and you don't need to use it, you're not going to use it, and people are still going to be driven to that. What are your thoughts on that?
I've seen some of this popping up on Instagram, and I've seen some of it looks good, some of it looks like it's an AI. But again, we're from the philosophy of do you, and I think that's the problem. Is if somebody's doing it, you don't like it, you don't have to actually watch their content, and you don't have to pay attention to it. And I don't understand this level of why there's so many people that are, getting upset with other creators. Again, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's the same way. It's like, collecting the action figure line. If you don't collect Motu, that's fine. I personally don't. That doesn't mean that you gotta basically crap on me because I'm doing the G.I. Joe. Just can't we both coexist in the world? So I see that. Look, some of the stuff looks really good, man. I've seen some where they've taken some action figures and they've made to life, and a lot of these toy photographers are starting to use it. It looks cool. And then some just look like it's AI. It looks terrible. But I don't understand the outrage on the chat.
Yeah, look, the outrage is just because people have nothing better to do with their lives. I think you either embrace it or you don't embrace it. If you find somebody you follow that starts using AI for their toy photography, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to support that shit, then just don't unfollow them. Stop worrying about whether or not something's going to ruin the industry, when the reality is that you never know. It may excite somebody to want to do more toy photography, and then get away from using AI because they can afford to do all the practical effects. Because let's be real, the people bitching about not using AI are the ones that have all the money to do practical effects, and that's real expensive. And sometimes you're paying 10 times the cost of a figure for a diorama, a good one. And so that AI, I think, is giving people a way to do barrier entry, and I think people need to shut up. I think if you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't need to advertise it online to try to prove your point, to make other people feel bad about stuff that they're doing, because that, my friends, is how people just don't get into the sport, or they don't get into the collecting, or they don't want to be part of the group, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think there's certain levels where it does limit fandom. I think there's a natural point where technology is always going to be something on the close end, and you've got to be accepting of it. I understand that people think, well, this is going to put people out of work and everything, and there's always that. There's always automation or something that's going to do that. It's going to threaten that in any industry. But I think that as collectors, this is where we should just be having fun, man, enjoying the things that we're doing, and just having fun. And there's been a bunch of toxicity that has been passing itself through the toy collecting community and toy photographer community, and also the customization areas. Let's just have fun. Let's take it back to what it was. It's people playing with toys, having a good time, enjoying one another, and that's what it should be. Yeah,
I think they'll figure it out, man. You pay attention to everything that's going on, and it's not conducive to building a community or lifting anybody up, or trying to get people into the collection. And here's the problem with that is you and your group may be people that have a bigger say or whatever in it, but if you start making people feel like they're not welcomed into a community, guess what? Toy makers stop making toys because no one wants to buy them. I think with also, to be honest, with the crazy levels that AI is advancing, some AI produced toy action figure photography is really good.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm starting to see that again. Whether you're practical, it takes a lot of time to be practical. Yeah, a lot of people say AI is speeding up the process. That's not necessarily true too, because there's a learning curve for it as well. But I appreciate all forms of artwork. I'm sure at one point that this will be appreciated for what it is. It's just somebody said, hey, what would it be like to actually have my G.I. Joe collection 3 3/4 figures move around like they're live? And again, some of it looks great, and then some of it doesn't. But it's interesting to see where the technology pushes you. And again, we always have naysayers. I remember when I was first into screenwriting. Everyone did everything on typewriters and everything. Then we moved into, processors, and now Final Draft came out, and no one really considered Final Draft is cheating, but it kind of is. It kind of helps us move along and do our jobs faster. Yep. Well, the same way with the standard comic book artist and the colorist. Now everything's done in you got Adobe. You're using that a little bit more in Photoshop. That wasn't cheating then either. It was just advancing the technology on. I think that this is going to advance. There's more toy photographers now than I think we've ever seen before, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only growing. And people are just looking for better ways to do it. And I'm excited about it, man, for both aspects.
I am too.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
I love that wolf, man.
Yeah, he's great.
That moves us into our next segment, and that's toy news.
And now, toy news.
Man,
toy news. It's going to get us into everything that is the new releases, pre-orders, things that's coming up that you need to know of. We're going to tell you right here in this segment. And look, if you were watching Pixel Plastic Inc. over at the Shadow Nose Network, that was on Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, then we were talking about the latest Marvel Legends mini comic wave and how we were surprised that Rom the Space Knight in that wave is selling out, and it's selling all over the place. And in fact, it seems like Invincible Iron Man, Chet, and also the Miles Morales are the least selling out items on that wave, man. And I thought maybe Miles might be more in value compared to Rom the Space Knight.
No, man, because here's the deal: people are over Iron Man and Spider-Man figures, and it's unfortunate. Like you gotta look at this, right? Like Rom hasn't been a character since like Toy Biz days.
Yeah.
Right. And so people really wanted that figure. And I knew that one was going to be gone like way ahead of time. The issue with Miles Morales isn't that it's not a good figure. It's that you just literally released a Miles Morales figure.
Yeah.
Like you just did it. And so now you did another aspect of it. And, look, Iron Man 2, like you can only have so many Iron Man figures before it's like, what am I really buying? Right.
Sure,
and and also the Iron Man one too. They just released the retro carded ones as well. So
sure.
And look, Spider-Man. I know we're gonna get into this, but Spider-Man, original Spider-Man. I think you could release at any point in time and not have a problem with it. But I don't know that Miles Morales is a big enough draw to be able to release figure after figure after figure after figure. I do think the one thing I do like about this Miles Morales figure that they had is the alternate heads. That was rad. But yeah, man, I didn't expect those two to do as bad as they're doing, but I for sure knew that Rom was going to sell out.
Absolutely. And if you don't know this, over at the Shadow Nose Network, Pixel Plastic Inc., we do have one of our affiliates. It's Entertainment Earth. And there's a code for Entertainment Off. It's PPI Cast. And if you use that over there for any orders that are in stock, get a pretty good discount for that. So make sure you head over to Entertainment Earth and actually use that code and see what you could save. Because nowadays in figures, you could stand to save something because, man, things are going up. And that ties us into the thing that we knew was inevitable, Chet.
That's right. Yeah.
What do you think about there's a good point right now. Action figures, the basic figure is $24.99. $24.99 at this moment.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a $30 figure?
Yeah, so
basic figure price point coming soon.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You said it. At this point, it's $24.99. I definitely think it's gonna. There's a lot of outside things, and if you're not living under a rock, you can kind of pick up on what we're talking about. But I think that the days of the $24.99 figure are going to be gone sooner than later. But it's kind of to set the expectations as we move forward into like what what they're releasing for figures and things that do that. Like, and here's the thing that's funny, right? Is you have people that buy Legends, and you have people that buy Black Series, and then you have people that buy Classifieds, and everybody bitches about how much it is, right? Those same people will go buy a Destro from Mezco for $110 and not say a damn word about it. So it's like you can't get mad if they say, hey, our Destro figures are going to $30 because you're okay with a Mezco figure being 110 when the reality is, Mezco is good. It's good, but also like you're bitching about a $30 thing that sits on your shelf, but you'll pay $110 for something that also sits on your shelf and does the same amount of work that the $30 one.
But now here's the thing about that though. Do you think because Mezco started off the price point at that price point, and there's never been like we know Marvel Legends at one point they were $14.95, then in 1990, so there's gradually been increases through the line. But like when you're doing things like like Hot Toys is Hot Toys, Mezco and Mafex are the price points. You know what they're going to be. It's not like there's a cheaper version of it. It is. You think because the price points were established in the beginning and there's been no real kind of fluctuation, that's why there's not pushback?
Specifically speaking to Hot Toys, I think that Hot Toys is a different scale. So I think that you get away with it. Mafex is a little bit different because it's imported. So you're already paying for imports and customs and whatever else they have to put on there. Mezco's a little weird. I think Mezco started off wanting to be a designer brand, right? It's the same thing. It's the same concept as if you get into clothes. You could buy like $25 jeans, or you could spend $125 on jeans, and then you're going to be replacing one sooner than the other, and that's just the way that it works. So I think that you have really two facets of toy collecting. You have the collecting one, and then you have the luxury brands, right? And that's your luxury brands are going to be like Mezco, Mafex, Hot Toys, Mondo. Like those are all like luxury brand collecting, and I think that people were just used to that. Yeah. And where Hasbro comes into the problem is, we've talked about this a lot on like Toybox and even like Pixel Plastic Inc. When it's really like, I do feel like Hasbro has kind of like shot themselves in the foot, and we'll kind of see what happens with this Maximum series that's coming out. Yeah. But I think for their regular brands, I think they really they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and I think, to my honest opinion, is 30 is the absolute highest that they could ever go to be profitable. And I think we won't see, I don't necessarily think we're going to see 30 right away. I think we're going to see like a $26.99, and then like 6 months to a year go by, we're going to see a $28.99, and then 6 months to a year go by, and then we'll see like a $29.95, and I think that's going to be where they stop
it. Okay. I'm surprised. Well, like I said, again, we all know about the whole thing about it being a corporation, and we know that there is a point where they have to get their shareholders money. It's not something that they can just do and say, hey, we can keep this price point and lose. Smaller companies can probably get away with that, but not bigger ones. But now when you're looking at the price points and the changes, look, you're paying almost $50 for $50 for NECA figures. I've rarely heard anybody complain about that. That's their starting off price. There are a bunch of I know that not everyone's like McFarlane, McFarlane basically tries to keep his figures kind of reasonable, but also some of McFarlane's construction is not as well as Hasbro's as well, and vice versa. McFarlane does things better than Hasbro, so you're getting an offshoot on certain. But I think because McFarlane is not a major corporation, he can get away with trying to keep things decent for the fans. And actually, when you do see McFarlane, he's out in front center with fans, so he's hearing those complaints. You can tell, obviously, he's a fan of the action figure community because he spends so much time interacting with them. Now, you look at a la Super 7, where, you know, their price points are, you know, even on their reaction lines that are less than about the 3 3/4 phase, they're charging you $20 for that at this moment. So, you know, I there's already this preconceived notion that it's just Hasbro that they're going up, but like every company has been slowly increasing their prices. I don't see anybody other than the only time I've seen it was Bobby Valla did over Valaverse. He did lower down the price of Action Force figures because he was getting some deals. He passed that back on to the consumer. Very rare for anyone else other than I think him and McFarlane that keep that in mind. So, but again, two different beasts. They're not major corporations. They're run by pretty much one person, and they can kind of make those decisions. You know, how much money do they need to make? They can actually say it can pass this on. And I think it builds brand loyalty.
Yeah, and I think it's good. Like one of the things, like just to kind of to your point, is I love the McFarlane Batman animated series figures.
Yes,
but they don't stand.
Yep,
like they just don't stand up. It bothers me, but I love them. They're great. I hate them because they can't stand. But McFarlane knows that, and he gives you stands. But when you look at the way those look like they're straight out of the animation.
They do.
So I appreciate that. You know, people don't bitch about NECA because NECA's always had bulkier figures. They've always made like a little bit heavier plastics. Now, obviously, you know, everyone bitches about NECA because they put their, you know, they made a stupid mistake. But yeah, I think we're almost there to that 30 figure. I think just to kind of touch a little bit on this, the Marvel Legends Maximum Series pre-order is going to be coming out for Spider-Man. And I think that we'll see where we're going to land on the regular figures once we see the pricing on the Maximum Series. What do you think about the Maximum Series?
First of all, like I said, again, we talked about this before with Toybox Chronicles, but yeah, I think the Maximum Series, look, you're going to get a definitive Todd McFarlane version of Spider-Man. You're going to put him in poses that he's never been able to do before, and it looks fantastic. And if those photos that they took from the toy photographer at Marvel Legends, if you can produce that at home, it's a win because it does kind of have, even the box kind of looks like a Mafex version of like an American product.
Yeah.
So, you know, it works out. Now, we did get a little bit of information because there was a listing from a toy store in Mexico with the actual price points. And in this toy price point in the Mexico store, it was at $60.
Yeah.
Now, you and I both know they rarely ever do anything across the board as cheaper in one country or anything else. It's usually, in fact, over in other countries, it's a little bit more when it comes down. But like, you know, when you do the price of pesos, it came out to about $60 US. You and I have been debating this back and forth for like since we saw that Maximum Alliance series come out. I don't think it's going to be over $70. I think it's going to be below that. If it is, I think this is a compete. Look, you're still going to have your basic figure line. You're just going to have a Maximum Series line to pick and choose from. And here's the one thing, Chet, that I don't think everyone, you don't have to buy the Maximum Series. If you don't
you mean I don't have to buy it?
You don't have to buy it. So
I don't have to buy it. Guy, did you hear that? I don't have to buy it. That's crazy. Well, I'm going to bitch about it anyways because that's what I do.
Yeah, but if you get to that price point, you just feel like it's a new line, just don't pick it up. I will tell you, though, it's probably in your best interest to pick up the Spider-Man one because I do think that even though it's the first, you know,
it's not the last.
How many Wolverines have we seen? I don't know if there's a definitive version of Wolverine that they can do for this Maximum Series line. But with Spider-Man, the poses and everything, you're not going to be able to take your standard Marvel Legend figure and put them in a Todd McFarlane pose. Yeah. And that's all we really want to do is recreate Spider-Man #1 somewhere with some webbing, and it just looks cool, bro.
You know what? You know what's crazy? All this talk of Spider-Man's really made me thirsty.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that leads us in to our next sponsor. And that's going to be True American Beer from the True American Beer Company. You can have real, or you can drink something real or true. Actually, let me do that again because
you got to get this right. They're pumping good money into this.
You can have real, or you can drink something that's true. That's right. True American Beer. Go down to your local Bevmos or wherever you get your alcoholic beverages from, and then go and tell them that the people from Action Figure Frequency sent you. Thanks to True American Beer for being a sponsor of Action Figure Frequency.
That beer just tastes like freedom.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Oh man, you know what goes good with beer is trying to figure out, what if the temperature is just right outside, or if I have to stay inside. Because that's how I want to know where I'm supposed to be drinking my beer, which brings us to our
And now your weather forecast with Alexander Storm.
That's right. We're going to hit you with the weather report and everything. So we're going to start off in New York. Yes, that's right. For the people on the East Coast, it is a whopping 72 degrees in New York. Down in Miami, that's down in the Florida areas, if you don't know. Always heard got great beaches. Guess what? They're at 72 degrees as well.
72, not bad.
Yeah, we're going to pop up to Detroit, Michigan. Yes, that's right. Detroit.
RoboCop.
Yep. Oh, yeah. OCP.
RoboCop. Get it. All right.
Yeah, that's also 72 degrees. Wow, there's a little point on that. Cleveland, Ohio, 72. Houston, Texas, 72.
Wow.
Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, and even down here in Southern California, 70. Because you know why it's 72 degrees, right, Chet?
Well, I'm assuming that's because the temperature needs to be in your toy room. If you change the temp, you got to let us know.
Exactly right. So here's the thing. If you're actually out there and you're listening to us right now, you change your temperature, then send us a message and everything so we can update the report and let us know what city you're in and everything. But that, my friend, is the weather report.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man.
That's good. 72 degrees across the board, man. What's the last time that happened,
I know. They don't turn their temperatures up or low. It'll be all great.
But you know what did go low is Mattel's sales numbers, huh?
Wow. Yeah, it did kind of go low. And you know what? We were reading a report off of this that said that there's a little speculation that it's not for all the products. Motu's still doing quite well. Hot Wheels is doing great. In fact, I've seen more Hot Wheels new. I think they have a new I think it's Red Line or something that they're doing a new series. So every time I turn around, there's more Hot Wheels, and they're constantly putting up. But no, for the doll and the infant lines, they are losing numbers. And you know why that is, Chet?
I have no clue. Why is that?
That's because they're saying that Barbie saw a spike like basically a year ago. And what happened a year ago?
I feel like there's like some kind of like man bashing movie that came out.
I don't know about that. It was actually kind of funny, but I think
it was a good movie.
It was the sales of the Barbie movie that actually helped the dolls. And I think it actually put it back into the minds of collectors and actual casual fans. And it's the same way when we saw Marvel Legends when the first Black Panther movie came out. Like those sales skyrocketed. People were like taking their kids from the theater down the toy aisles. Well, I think the same thing happened for Barbie. And now that there's not that major Hollywood push, because remember it was, for award shows and every time you could not, Pink was everywhere. But after that, this Christmas, Mattel saw a little bit of low, and I can think that can happen. But here's the one aspect that I will also say about Mattel is that how much do you really think Mattel is growing though?
I mean, not a lot. I look at what Mattel does. Like they don't even like the Mattel Creations isn't even that good. And you know, they're really letting Hot Wheels live up to their theme song, which was Leading the Way. And if you remember, Mattel, it's interesting because the numbers dropped here, and then Hot Wheels seems to be doing well. And if you remember back, Mattel announced a partnership with an anime company to produce Tokyo Pop to produce animes on Barbie and Hot Wheels, and then one other one, right? So so you know, look, I think it's they're cool. They got the Motu line, but they also have a bunch of lines that they just haven't brought back. And it's like we were talking about this the other day off air.
Yeah.
One of my favorite runs, which obviously, granted, the cartoon wasn't that good, but the toys were innovative, which was Dino Riders. You know, they bought the license to that through Tyco. And I think they just need to go back and tap into some of the older stuff to bring it back, because nostalgia is winning right now. Like it really is winning, right? Like Nacelle's doing Biker Mice from Mars. There's Street Sharks, like a bunch of stuff's all coming out that people are like, oh yeah, okay, you know, Playmates is re-releasing TMNT, but with more like articulation. So I feel like Mattel's just kind of like you know, but okay, so back prior to like 2019, the Mattel booth at San Diego Comic-Con was hot. It was real good. People were there to like figure it out.
Yeah.
And then Hasbro just put more effort into it, and it is what it is. And I, you know, what is Mattel doing to keep Barbie in the minds of people when they're trying to shop for toys? Because you have Monster High, which is great, you know, but like, what are you doing Barbie? And I think a lot of people realize that, you know, I knew someone that was collecting all the Hollywood holiday Barbies. Yeah. Because they thought that they were going to be worth something. And it turns out like a holiday Barbie from like 1990 is worth like $20. And they probably paid like 30, 40. So I would like to see it turn around. But like now they're going to start doing Jurassic Park and no one asked for it. So, you know.
Yeah. And I think that's, you're right. Because with that Jurassic Park Rebirth hitting theaters in the summer, then that's another line. But again, you and I have had this same point about Jurassic Park. Look, I think that they do the Hammond collection. If you go to any Ross or you head into the Ollie's on the East Coast, you've seen Jurassic Park all over the place. Whether it's the Transformer collab that they did, that was the thing over the Christmas holiday season, that everybody was running to Ollie's to see if they could get that for like $20. But seeing the Hammond collection all over the place, they're nice looking dinosaurs, but it's just a dinosaur. So
I mean, that's what blows my mind. Like, I don't know when the last time you looked at Dino Riders.
Yeah,
those dinosaurs were better quality than the Jurassic Park crap they're putting out. Like, legitimately better quality. And like their Brontosaurus is 33 inches long.
Yeah,
for Dino Riders.
I think they've you know, again, I know they're going to focus because what it seems like they do, and it could be me. Seems like they're suddenly, other than the Hammond collection, they're repurposing certain molds that they've had before and transferring over to a new line. And I think that this one too, you know, look, I don't think Jurassic Park is helping Mattel either, because it seems like the last several films is like, you know, there's no crazy vehicles. There's nothing really to help the lore as well either. It's just like, you know, it's new characters and same old dinosaurs. So I think that it's kind of hard to put it together. I think if you know, Jurassic Park went to a completely different version of it. Yeah. And then we know that Mattel had the problems trying to do their Mattel creation and the Jurassic Park gates that, you know, didn't seem like that was that interested from the fans. So I think, and then there's 3 lines of Motu that they have. It's like, maybe you're right, taking some older lines and bringing them back from, you know, obscurity. Also coming into it from the point of maybe creating some new lines, trying to build some new lore, you know, may help them as well. But I think that right now they're stuck with characters that just aren't really kind of moving.
The reason why the 80s and 90s were so hot for toys is because they were taking chances on IPs that didn't exist.
True.
And so, you know, like Mask is one of those things where they took a chance on an IP that had a hit for the first season, and then they let people screw it up for the second season. And even TMNT first season is animated way better than second season.
Yeah, it is.
And then third season gets real bad, and then they kind of slowly start to come back to the original company that did it. But now they're not taking any chances. It's obvious, you can tell, because no one cares about Power Rangers anymore, but for some reason they still have a budget to make toys. But nobody cares. Like, literally no one cares about Power Rangers. You know that based on what's in there, So, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, they can definitely have a little bit of resurgence and everything else there. But you know what, man? I've got a glare in my eye for some strange reason.
Do you?
There's something that can help me with that.
Yeah, well, there is. For everyone out there that's wondering, where does Chet Maddox get these sexy glasses? Well, we're happy to announce a partnership with SolarFlex, which is fantastic. They're high-performance shades. All right, gamers, listen up, because your boy Chet Maddox is about to change your life. You ever step outside ready to flex on the world, but bam, the sun's out here griefing your eyeballs like an overpowered sniper camper? Yeah, no thanks. That's why I rock SolarFlex shades, the only sunglasses engineered with gamer vision technology. These bad boys don't just block UV rays, they enhance your in real life, or as you guys like to call it, IRL reflexes. I'm talking glare reduction so crisp you could no scope a watermelon from across the park. Plus, they've got anti-sweat grip tech, because let's be real, gaming might be indoors, but we still sweat under pressure. And for my streamers out there, SolarFlex has blue light reduction lenses, so you can go from dominating the leaderboards to dominating that beach without frying your retinas like a graphics card running on a toaster. So, if you want to look good, see better, and flex harder, head over to solarflex.gg and use code ChetVision for 10% off your first pair. SolarFlex shades, because if you ain't flexing, you ain't gaming.
Do they come in blinding neon gamer RPG?
Well, Alex, they come in stealth black. I got you. SolarFlex shades. Flex your vision.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
That leads us into our next ad. Well, one is very interesting. I will tell you that. Have you ever had a situation where you just bought a toy and you just were dissatisfied with it? Maybe something broke from the factory and it was shipped to you, and by the time it got there, or maybe your cat's lair showed up at your house and had some forks put into it from the people over at the docking bay, and there was the Super 7's hotline was not able to get back to you. Well, guess what? There is an attorney out there that is taking advocates for you, bro. And that is Timmy Mint, a 20-year toy vet, advocate attorney that's out there from the law offices of Mint and Mint. If you have any kind of problems, whether the Kung Fu grip doesn't work, whether you pay too much for your HasLab, whether you just never even got your HasLab, call the fine people over at Mint and Mint law offices. Speak to Timmy Mint. You can call him at 1-800-555-MINT, and his price comes Mint graded. That's Timmy Mint law offices.
I'm excited.
Yes, it is. It always works out for Timmy Mint and everything.
So good. It's so good.
We got some convention news coming up right here. And this is going to be the section where, like I say, if you've got any kind of convention out there in the United States, big or small, send that in to us. You can reach us over at Instagram on the Shadow Nose Network Instagram feed. DM us and let us know if it's a big show, Mama Pops, it's whatever it is. We're going to actually start putting that out. But we've got some things coming up here, Chet. We have in the next, coming off in March and everything, Toy Atlanta. That's right. And guess who will be at Toy Atlanta as well?
I don't know who.
Your guys from Action Figure Frequencies. That's right. Mr. Chet Maddox and myself will be making that trek to Duluth, Georgia. Not Atlanta. I want people to understand. Don't go show up at the Atlanta Convention Center, because it won't be at the Atlanta Convention Center. It is actually Toy Atlanta in Duluth, Georgia.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Also, we got Robo Toy Fest is coming up at the end of the year. We just went to Toy Depot's Geeking Out here in Southern California. That's actually looking pretty good. And over the weekend, the past weekend, we had a MegaCon that took place in Florida. And from what I understand, now here's the funny thing about MegaCon. I heard that Mezco was really the only major toy vendor that was there.
Yeah.
Wow. I would have thought some of the other bigger companies, maybe I think Hasbro's rolling back, so I didn't expect that, but I would have thought like maybe Super 7, maybe NECA would have took that opportunity. Maybe I know the Horsemen are a little bit smaller, so I'm not expecting that, but I'm kind of shocked that just, Mezco took advantage of it. Mezco has some really nice stuff that they put out there as well. They had the Doc Savage 112 figure. That looked phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah.
And they also had some of the older figures, but they were displaying them, which was because the Fantastic Four movie came out. Mezco showed their 112 version of the Fantastic Four. That's looking pretty good too, man.
Yeah, I'm a little taken back by that and the lack of toy representation that was there from like the bigger companies, but to each their own. I know it was a 3-day convention in Orange County, Florida. So, I don't know. Also, there's the idea of like, I don't know how much booths were. So there's that. Cool. And then if there was lodging, anything like that. So we'll see, but who knows? Maybe we'll hit that up next year and see what we can do over there.
Yeah, I was talking about this the other night on the Sorlac Toy Chest over on the Sorlac Digest channel. I do it every couple of weeks over there. And one thing they were kind of bringing in, I thought this would be a good question for you and I to go over with, is big con versus small con kind of thing. And I was thinking that the difference between the two. Now we've been to some of the bigger ones, and like a la on the list, San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon. Look, I'm skipping WonderCon, and I'm probably going to skip San Diego Comic-Con. I think they've just gotten a little bit too corporate, and I think that when we went to Geeking Out, it just felt a little bit more inviting, and it was just a little bit more open. I had a better time, and I think some of these smaller conventions, I'm finding out I'm having a better time going to them than fighting the hustle and bustle and the corporate things. And when we're going in, they've got your gift bags, and it doesn't seem as welcoming anymore. Is that just me, Chet, or are you feeling the same way?
I'm on the fence. So I think realistically, if you think about what Comic-Con has turned into, it's all about the exhibit hall and who can get the most amount of Comic-Con exclusives to like upsell everybody out of a job. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at like people that go to San Diego Comic-Con, not for anything other than the exhibit hall, mm-hmm. There's really if that's why you go to San Diego Comic-Con, there's really no reason why you should go to San Diego Comic-Con, because a lot of the cool stuff that happens is in all of the side rooms and other hotels where they have all of the panels and things like that. And unfortunately, San Diego Comic-Con has once again decided that for a minute there, we were like, oh, this is exciting. They're not going to do the Hall H shit. And then they were like, nah, we're just kidding. We're going to do the Hall H shit again. So, while I love going to San Diego Comic-Con and getting the bag and like the experience of something like that big with with the culture all over like that, look, you're gonna feel more invited to a convention that's run like SoCal Joe Show or Toylanta, because it's that everyone's there for the same reason. They're collectors. They love the toys. What I do think is missing is a convention built around a convention, and we've talked privately about what's kind of happening with that. Yeah. But I think they've gotten to the point where, I mean, look, you just in the short, and you've gone to San Diego Comic-Con longer than I have. Yeah. But just in the short amount of time I went from 2013 up until 2019. I mean, the comic section just got smaller and smaller, and then they got more and more like bigger sponsors, Marvel, Disney, AMC, and so you could kind of tell they were losing it.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's the disheartening point of it. And you're right. Like I said again, I've enjoyed a lot of the smaller conventions. I'm looking forward to Toy Atlanta. I'm looking forward, and I think I think the problem with San Diego Comic-Con is it's called San Diego Comic-Con, but it's not just about comics. It's a mixture of things. But when I'm going to Toy Atlanta, it's going to be a mixture of that. It's just for toys. And the same thing with like PowerCon and the rest. they're more centric to something and not a catch-all. And I think that's where we're running into the problem. It's like even LA Comic-Con, look, we were, the prices are just astronomically crazy. And I think, the competition between LA and New York and then San Diego is like, those aren't the shows that you can take a family of 4 to and think they're inexpensive and walk in and you can have a good time. No, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. It's almost like going to an amusement park for the prices that they're charging for a weekend, Yeah. So, same thing. Like, I've gone to the SoCal Joe show the last 2.5 years, and look, walk in vendors, they know who you are. You can have conversations with people. There's smaller events. It feels like you have just more of a community sense other than your consumer. When you go to San Diego Comic, you're purely there to somebody to hawk their product to, get out of my face, buy my stuff, and leave. I think that's the problem. We need more smaller shows, and we need more creators to come up and just say, hey, we're going to create that smaller show. Because like you can get the small shows are the ones where I think it's like, this is why the collecting community is thriving. You don't get excited going to the bigger shows. You get excited when you see, like we saw Fresh Monkey Fiction at Geeking Out. You were able to talk to the people that created the line. You were able to also get hands-on, like, this is a character, this is that. Or even when we went over to the Four Horsemen booth, and it was like, I'm really not a huge person into the lore of the Four Horsemen. I asked gentlemen, hey, explain the lore to me. And when they broke it down, and then from that point, it's like, now I understand. It was more of a personal connection. Let's see if Hasbro's explaining that while you're at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't think I'm going to get that same kind of treatment. So, it's a shame, man, but this is what it's coming to. But I am looking forward to making that trek out to Toy Atlanta. It's going to be fun, brother.
It's going to be different. I'm into it, though. I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about all these rumblings of McFarlane?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, there's been a couple of rumors that's been popping up that we've heard about, and it's interesting. Everyone knows that. Well, if you don't know by now, you should know. Diamond Distributors went into bankruptcy, and from that, look, some companies come out, very rare, but some companies do come out of bankruptcy. I don't think Diamond will because of the amount of money. Now, one thing that Diamond also owns is Diamond Select. So if you've ever went in from that catalog and ordered some toys from it, and usually I will give them credit. I think that they did a really good job with toys.
They made the absolute best Hulk figure ever.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that. And some of their statues also, there's a lot of pluses. Well, from what we're hearing, the rumblings is that Todd McFarlane may be thinking about purchasing the toy division to Diamond. And at this point, through bankruptcy, he's probably going to get it for a really, really inexpensive penny. Mm-hmm. But if he does, I don't know. This is hard, Chet, to think about what he would do, because I think he's kind of overcompensated now with what he's doing. I think he has his hands in way too many lines. Yeah. And I'm kind of worried, like, with this leading into one, would this make him a little bit more corporate? And two is, how many other more products and lines would he take over? Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it'll make him more corporate. I think what he's really trying to do is get in and to get the name and the molds, because Diamond Select does have some really good molds, and then they have some really big misses. But I'm interested to see what happens with it. I don't think if there is a purchase, I don't think it makes him more corporate. I think that it gives him an avenue down somewhere, because you remember, like, they also had DC Direct, so he could also be buying it just for that, because those DC Direct figures, if he took the DC Direct figures and added more articulation to them, those would hands down be some of the best action figures on the market.
Well, here's the thing too, though, and I don't know. Again, I'm not a bankruptcy attorney, but No. One of my less degrees is not that.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that you were.
But
is Mint and Mint, are they bankruptcy?
I'm sure he probably is.
Yeah, 1-800-555-MINT. 1-800-555-MINT.
There you go. I'm wondering if like the some of the licenses that Diamond Select had signed, if that's transferable.
Yeah, it
so
is.
like if McFarlane buys the company, does he get all of like the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, he would get all the licensing. That's all part of the agreement.
Okay.
Because like remember, bankruptcy, like depending on what it is, 7, 11, 13, whatever, like their value, the value is on the assets. And so the licensing is going to be an asset, right? Because licensing means that if he buys that, he's the one that can make the Lord of the Ring figures. He's the one that can make those DC specific figures, right? Because he'll own the licensing to that. Now, I don't know, the licensing may have an expiration date, and then that's kind of where it gets tricky, right? Like if he buys that and only has 2 more years left on the license, it's going to degrade the value a lot more. Mm-hmm. But if those licenses were in perpetuity where they could just keep going on for whenever, then, you know, we could see Lord of the Ring figures come back or whatever. And, you know, yeah, so it's an interesting. So, and look, there'll be publications about it. If he makes an offer, puts an offer in, you could read about it and see what he's going to get and go through there, unless they decide to keep it private, which they probably won't. Because remember, Diamond's not doing bad in other countries, and McFarlane likes to hear himself. McFarlane likes to hear himself talk.
Well, that's true. And you said, I know I'm not a bankruptcy attorney, but that sounded pretty damn good, Chet.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on my bankruptcy law. I put in an application at Mint and Mint to see if I can get over there.
From what I understand, anybody can, my friend. Anybody
good.
can.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, McFarlane's a super smart dude, you know,
and
and so, you know, he's got a leg to stand on. He makes some of the best Batman figures that have come out, and his vehicles are killing it. So
wow, yeah. You know what, man?
This feeling a little tired, huh?
Yeah, I just for some strange reason, man. I know that we're reaching this hour point, but man, I don't know if I've got enough energy to make it through. I wish there was something I could do to boost up that energy. Anything that could go down with that, Chet?
Oh, well, I'm happy that you asked, because that brings us to one of our favorite sponsors of the show, Figure Fuel Energy. That's right. Figure Fuel Energy is fantastic. And you know what, Toy Fanatics, let's talk about the energy. Whether you're hunting grails, posing figures, building dioramas, or deep in custom paint job, you need the fuel to keep going, no matter what. Hold on, let's start over, okay? Because they paid me a lot for this shit, and I'm messing it up. All right, let's start over. Cut, take, pretend like you didn't hear that. All right, Toy Fanatics, let's talk about energy. Whether you're hunting grails, posing figures, building dioramas, or deep in a custom paint job, you need fuel to keep going. And no, I'm not talking about lukewarm gas station coffee. That stuff tastes bad. I'm talking about Figure Fuel, the ultimate energy drink for toy enthusiasts. With our Electro Surge Caffeine, Steady Hand Precision Blend, and Shelf Warrior Stamina Boost, this bad boy keeps you sharp, steady, and sculpted like a premium import figure.
That's right, Chet. Whether you're a loose collector, an MLC protector, or a custom creator, Figure Fuel has your back. And it comes in 3 collector-grade flavors.
3 flavors?
Absolutely. Prototype Punch, because every great collection starts with a concept.
It does.
Blitzer Pack Berry, so fresh, you should have had it on a peg hook. And Glow in the Dark Grape. Let me say that again. Glow in the Dark Grape.
So if I drink this, I glow in the dark?
I don't know about that. But
okay. Because I figure I don't think that's good for you, but all right.
But because real collectors don't need sleep, they just need to recharge.
And for those long nights painting customs, designing displays, or just scrolling eBay for a deal that doesn't require selling a kidney, no crash, no jitters, just pure collecting power. So hit up figurefuelenergy.com. That's figurefuelenergy.com and use code TOYPOWER for 10% off. Again, figurefuelenergy.com and use code TOYPOWER for 10% off and fuel your passion like a legend. Figure Fuel, because shelf space ain't gonna fill itself.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Wow. It's almost as if we bought stock in that company.
I know, I'm excited about Figure Fuel Energy. That is a really good sponsor, man. Hey, everyone, we want to thank you so far for being for joining us here, Action Figure Frequencies, over on Bandito Radio 112 FM, with two of your sexiest hosts to ever bless the internet, Mr. Alexander Storm and myself, Chet Maddox from SKN. We are excited you're here with us. And this is a part in the show moving forward, because this is episode 1, where we call it the fan mailbag. And if you're an active listener, you can submit your questions over on the Discord. If you want to find us on Discord, just look up Shadow Nose Network SKN and join the Discord and get involved in the community. We have people from Odd Frog and Sarlacc and Pixel Plastic Inc. and Toybox Chronicles, Joystick Junkies. Like, everyone is joining up in that community. Again, there's bigger perks if you are a member of our YouTube space. And again, the YouTube space entry is only 99 cents. You could definitely go up more, but the 99 cents gets you in. That is 99 cents a month. And then that gives you access to premium features on the Discord server. And again, there are multiple tiers. However, 99 cents is all we're asking. That gets you in there. But we want to use this section for us to take on your questions at a rapid fire rate. And then also we want to talk about what the community is talking about.
Absolutely. And that leads us into, if you're listening to us right now on Bandito Radio, then you can actually listen to us here through the audios, or you can head over to, like my partner said, Chet Maddox, to the Shadow Nose Network, and that's Shadow with an E at the back of the W. Shadow Nose Network, SKN YouTube channel. And you can join the membership points, and you can actually see us while we're actually doing the audio version. So it's kind of like a behind the scenes kind of thing to itself. And it's different than the stuff that we do on Toybox Chronicles, which leads me into, we do 2 live streams on the Shadow Nose Network.
We do,
sir. First one is going to be on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Mr. Maddox over there on Toybox Chronicles. And guess what? The last month or so, we've been hitting it. We had David Vonner on. We had Sergeant Bananas, toy photographer legend, that was on. And we got some other surprises coming up as well. So that's the one thing. I always want to catch that. And then on Fridays, we have Pixel Plastic and Ink. That's at 7 p.m. as well, and Pacific time, and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's like a catch-all show. So if you're into comics, films, action figures, it's all there with not only myself, Mr. Maddox. We're joined by Rad, and Dr. Brentley's over there. So if you like that howl, that was Dr. Brentley that makes the howl for the Bandito Radio. So you definitely want to see him live, and that's 2 live streams. And we've got some other things on the channel that's happening. Chet, what's going over on SKN, sir?
Yeah, I mean, we have over on SKN, we got a new podcast coming, The Tribunal. It's a G.I. Joe collectors podcast. And that's actually going to have, that's going to have one sexy beast hosting another sexy beast. That is you, Mr. Storm, and Richard. And what exactly is it that the Tribunal is going to be talking about?
Tribunal is a G.I. Joe collectors podcast. That's right. We're diving into the world of Joe. I have been a Joe fan all my life, and also Richard has been as well. And we're going to have some other guests that's going to pop into that show that are basically all-time Joe lovers. So that's one of those interesting things where we saw that, look, that was just a discussion that we wanted to do, but we wanted to keep that out. That is another Toybox Chronicles production, just like Action Figure Frequencies and the main show, Toybox Chronicles. And Richard actually is Customizer Supreme. He's actually the 3rd member of Toybox Chronicles. He kind of pops in and guests, and he's over also there as well. And we got some great shows, some great people that's over there as well. But you know what? It's not just us in the circle. While we're over here in Bandito Radio, we got some people over that we definitely love to do for YouTube. So make sure if you're on Wednesday night, you can't find anything to do, and you say, hey, I wish there was more things on other than Toybox Chronicles. Well, there is, actually. If you go to YouTube at 6 p.m., then you can actually get the Skeleton Tomb. and that's got Deadman Juan and Scully over there, and all the people that's connected to Toy Mercs. They're all connected to that show. That's starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Toybox Chronicles on at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And then after that, the Best Damn Star Wars Show on YouTube. The Sorlac Digest podcast with Scott Solo, with Darth Moocher, with Grand Admiral Fretz, and the Fallen Fett. Let me tell you, if you ever want to know too much information about Star Wars, well, they're the guys that give it to you, because other people say they know Star Wars. Those guys live and breathe Star Wars.
That is correct. And if you are just trying to find out who else is involved, we do want to give some shout outs. Most importantly, I'm going to take this time to remind you all that the Bandito is up for pre-sale. You could buy it now. You put in your card, and magically it does a transaction, and then bam, so this Bandito just shows up at your house. Again, we have a whole collector's channel on that. Bandito also has their own Discord. We're looking to see how that goes. So far, it's been great. The Bandito is an awesome product. We're excited about it. But we also have our friends over at Toy Merc, the Instagram. You can find them over there. It's Toy MERC. It's a community for the community, by the community. And we have Deadman Juan. That's WON. Okay, I've been corrected multiple times by that guy, which is fine. He's a great dude. He's been on a lot. And then also Odd Frog Entertainment. You're going to want to go check that out. Subscribe to that faster than later, so you could have that low subscriber count number. So when they blow up, you could say you were one of the first. And then I would be remiss if we didn't mention it, but Blitz Transmission's YouTube channel is a powerhouse in the making. Go check that out. Blitz Transmission is fantastic.
Absolutely, Chet. And you know what, man? You know, we've been diving in deep and everything, and I just had my figure fuel. But you know what? I think it's going to kick in a little later, man. So I think we're getting ready to end this first episode of Action Figure Frequency. Now, let me tell you something. Now, you might have looked at the time and said this is only an hour. Well, we might surprise you, because it might be one time 2 hours. It might be a 3-hour show. Hell, we might even do a 12-hour show.
No one knows.
Absolutely. Well, for myself, Alexander Storm, and for the lovely
Chet Maddox,
I'm gonna let you use your catchphrase to close out us, brother.
Ooh, what am I catching? You can't catch it. That's the whole point. You got to go out there. You got to chase that plastic dragon, and remember, don't tell your significant other, because it could lead to some not so good things. But we want to thank everyone for joining Action Figure Frequency. And until next time, I don't know. We'll see you.
Thank you for listening to Action Figure Frequencies with Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm.
I really hate that you had to hear it this way. You was worth more songs to the mixtape. You need to know you was more than a mistake. It was me who had switched up midway. I can imagine what your friends say. He always had to have it his way. Fuck him, you don't need him, girl, let alone the hallway. Ain't enough wine for the heartbreak. Ain't enough time, we in Pompeii. Trying to hold on, but it's too late. Now I'm in the line with a fool's weight. Could've had it all, but I pushed you away. I wanna be alone, I ain't got shit to say. But it's only temporary pain. Y'all can say I'm always in the way. Everybody know it's over, but you and I ain't all at fault. Only wish that I could change the past. It is what it is, it's a war. If I'm the one who stuck you in the heart, you the one who had me from the start. But I always wanted you to know that I love you more than I can ever show. Now I gotta go. Can't get back what we had before. Hate to cut it off, but we had to grow. Had to show the world I was out for blood. You was there day one, got it out the mud. Now I got the crown, but it's not enough. Cause it all came back to me all of a sudden. We was just two souls and it's not enough. Girl, if heaven falls into hell, would you risk it all? I just need to know. Girl, if heaven falls into hell, would you risk it all? I just need to know.
You are listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike Cantrell, and I couldn't be more excited to bring you one of our newest features, Joke Junction. Here at Bandito Radio, we've got it all. We've got a little bit of independent music. We've got radio dramas, thrillers, horror, toy podcasts. A little bit of something for everyone, and I'm excited to bring you a little bit of comedy. Here at Joke Junction, we'll toss it up a little bit. We'll have some newer comedy. We'll have some older comedy. Some of my favorites are the old school radio shows from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, where they made it quite a production. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off with one of my favorites. This is from 1947. Bud Abbott, Lou Costello. Abbott and Costello. This one is great. It starts off with a few of their different bits, and it leads into one of my favorites, Who's On First. I think you'll remember this one. Check it out. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a laugh on us. Welcome to Joke Junction on 112 FM Bandito Radio.
GS 407. This old-time radio program was originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity. As a result, you may detect an occasional surface noise or volume drop due to transmission problems so common to old radio. We hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to this, one of the all-time favorite shows.
C-A-M-E-L-S. That's right, folks. C for comedy, A for Abbott, M for Maxwell, E for Ennis, L for Lou Costello. Put them all together and they spell Camel. Experience is the best teacher. Try a Camel. Let your own experience tell you why more people are smoking Camels than ever before. And draw up a chair for tonight's Camel Show, starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Costello, come here. Costello, will you come over here, please? Will you listen to me? What are you writing on that pad?
Hey, Abbott.
What are you writing on that pad?
I'm just making out a list of girls I'm going to kiss next week. Here's who I got picked out. Lizzie Schwartz, Maggie Mugglemeyer, Tessie Tinfoil, Lana Turner.
Now, wait a minute. No. Lana Turner wouldn't kiss you.
Oh, no?
Oh, no.
Then I'll scratch her off my list.
I love you. silly dummy, always thinking of girls. Girls, girls, girls. Great men don't waste their time on girls. Where do you suppose Benjamin Franklin would have been if he'd have thought of girls all of the time?
In the front row at Earl Carroll's?
No. Costello, I've been telling you for the past 3 weeks. You've got to quit chasing girls and get yourself a job. Look how sloppy you are. Look at your socks.
I can't help my socks, Abbott. It's those new Hickok plastic garters.
What's the matter with them?
Your socks stay up, but your legs fall down.
Yeah.
Luke Costello, telegram for Luke Costello. Here, boy. Out of the way, Fatso. I'm looking for Luke Costello.
Boy, he is Luke Costello.
The famous Luke Costello?
Certainly.
The one and only Luke Costello?
Yes.
That's me. Gee, I listen to you on the radio every Thursday night. You break me up when you say, how do you do? Wait a minute! That ain't me, that's the mad Russian. You're saying? Who's going to take this telegram?
I'll take it.
It's collect, $14.
He'll take it. Oh, give it to me. Here, boy. Hey, Costello, this telegram is from Joe DiMaggio. Listen to this. Dear Lou, as you know, I am recovering from a foot operation. I would appreciate you taking my place on the New York Yankees until I recover. Please report to the Yankee Stadium immediately. Signed, Joe DiMaggio.
Abbott.
Hey, that's wonderful.
That's the news I've been waiting for. I'm going to be a big league ball player.
Yes.
DiMaggio probably heard about my playing with the Cucamonga Wildcats last year.
You a ball player? I don't believe it, Costello. You know nothing about ball.
Oh, no, I eat baseball. I live baseball. All night when I'm asleep, I dream about baseball.
Don't you ever dream about girls?
What, and Miss might turn up at bat?
Oh! What's the matter with you?
Yes. And another thing, Abbott. What page are you on?
Never mind what page you're on.
And another thing, Abbott. Not only that, in Paterson, New Jersey, I worked out with a baseball team. I used to stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why did you stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning?
This was a girls' baseball team.
Costello, if you're going to play with the New York Yankees, you really have to know something about big league baseball, Lou.
I know all about baseball.
All right, suppose there's a left-handed pitcher pitching. What do?
I put in a right-handed batter.
Now, suppose there's a right-handed pitcher pitching.
I put in a left-handed batter.
But now I trick you. I take out the right-handed pitcher and put in a left-handed pitcher.
Then I double-cross you. I take out my left-handed batter and put in a right-handed batter.
Now, wait a minute. Where are you getting all those right-handed batters?
The same place where you're getting all those left-handed pitchers.
Oh.
Hello, Bud. Hello, Louis, honey.
It's Marilyn Maxwell.
Hello, Marilyn. I've got great news. I'm going to play ball with the New York Yankees. I'm taking you along as a pitcher.
Oh, now, Costello, Marilyn Maxwell can't pitch.
Oh, no? You should see all the guys she struck out that were trying to get to first base. This kid has got some nice curves.
Oh, Louis, you're so sweet. But I do hope you be careful. You know big league baseball is a very dangerous game.
Oh, what's dangerous about baseball, Marilyn?
Well, I read in the paper this morning that in the opening game in Boston, 5 players died on base.
Marilyn, you don't seem to know much about baseball. Let me show you how to play indoor baseball. First, I put my left arm around your waist. Then I snuggle my head on your shoulder like this. Then I press my cheek against your cheek.
Oh, wait a minute, Costello. That's not the way to play indoor baseball.
How do you like that? Every season, new rules.
Well, goodbye and good luck, Louis. I just know you'll become famous with those New York Yankees.
Marilyn's right,
Thank you,
Costello.
dear.
This is your chance to become famous. Now, you've got a good job as a baseball player, and you might find your proper niche in life.
Yes, I might. I mean, after all, if I find my... What will I find?
A niche. You'll find your niche.
Abbott, when I find an itch, I scratch it.
Now, what in the world are you talking about?
An itch. I once had the 7-year itch.
What happened?
I scratched real fast and got rid of it in 3.5 years.
Well, I'm not talking about that kind of an itch. I mean an itch in life. A niche in life is what everyone is looking for. Anyone who is successful has found a niche.
Well, if that's the case, I know an Airedale that is doing very well.
Listen to me, Costello. When I say a niche, I don't mean a niche like you have when you have an itch. I mean a niche like you have when you have a notch.
Oh, you don't mean an itch like an itch when you have an itch. You mean an itch like you have when you have a notch.
Now you've got it.
Now I've got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Costello, why do you mash everything up like that? You're the most mixed-up man I ever saw.
Well, maybe it's because I fell on my mother's mix master this morning. She had it set for mashed potatoes. I'm all mother.
I know that, you idiot. All I'm trying to tell you is that a niche is a notch. Catch?
Natch.
All right. Now, you I know that a niche is a notch. You know that both of them are the same.
Yes.
Now, I could have a notch and you could have a niche.
Yes, niche to me and notch to you.
I'm only trying to impress you the importance of being a big league ball player and having a good income. Did you ever draw a nice big fat salary?
No, I never drew a fat celery, but I once sketched a skinny tomato.
No. So when I say draw, I don't mean draw like you draw when you draw. I mean draw like you draw when you draw a salary.
Habit, let me smell your breath. Just as I thought. You've drawn one too many already.
Will you listen to me, please? When I say you draw a salary, I mean you draw money.
Now he's got me drawing money. Wait till the FBI finds out about this. I'll probably draw 20 years in a clink. And they don't feed you any celery in there either.
Costello, when I say you draw money, I mean you draw like you draw money to spend it. Not like when you draw on an easel.
That's what I always say. With money, it's easel come, easel go.
Everybody draws money. I draw money. I've been drawing money for years. My brother draws money. He's been drawing money for years.
You draw, and your brother draws?
Certainly.
Just as I thought. You and your brother are an old pair of drawers.
Experience is the best teacher. It happened shortly after the end of the war. 2 cigarettes glow in the dusk on the veranda of a country house as a man and woman are chatting. The woman remarks,
Robert, you've changed your cigarette brand. This is a Camel. I can tell without even looking.
Yes, I have changed my brand. You know how we smoked whatever cigarettes we could get during the war?
Don't I?
Yes, I must have tried all the brands during that shortage. That's when I found I liked Camel's best.
And weren't you right?
yes, experience is the best teacher. During the wartime shortage, people smoked whatever cigarettes they could get. It was this experience that taught millions the differences in cigarette quality. As smokers tried cigarette after cigarette on their T-zones, that's T for taste and T for throat, it was Camel's rich, full flavor and cool mildness that stood out from all the others. The result?
Today, more people smoke Camels than ever before.
Experience is the best teacher. Try a Camel. And while you light up a Camel, here's Skinny Ennis with Linda.
When I go to sleep, I never count sheep. I count all the charms about Linda. Lately it seems, in all of my dreams, I walk with my arms about Linda. But what good does it do me? For Linda doesn't know I exist. Can't help feeling gloomy. Think of all the loving I've missed. We pass on the street, my heart skips a beat. I say to myself, hello, Linda. If only she'd smile, I'd stop her a while, and then I would get to know Linda. But miracles still happen, and when my lucky star begins to shine, with one lucky break, I'll make Linda mine. On the street, my heart skips a beat. I say to myself, hello, Linda. If only she'd smile, I'd stop her a while, and then I would get to know Linda. But miracles still happen, and when my lucky star begins to shine, with one lucky break, I'll make Linda mine.
To be a big league ball player, you've got to get yourself in shape. Now, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., you lift weights. From 9 to 10, deep knee bends. 10 to 11, skip rope. 11 to 12, run 5 miles.
12 to 1, I'll never make it.
Hey, look. you idiots, you'll never be a ball player. Staying up late and going to nightclubs, eating rich food, running around with beautiful girls. Do you know what can happen to you?
Yes, I can become manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Costello, I don't even know why DiMaggio picked you. You don't even know how to swing a bat.
I know all about swinging bats. When I was a kid, my father used to hit me with a baseball bat. My brother used to hit me with a baseball bat. My Uncle Artie Stebbins used to hit me with a baseball bat. And my mother used to hit me with a tennis racket.
With a tennis racket?
Yes, she didn't like baseball.
Well, it's Skinny Ennis.
Hey, Costello, I heard about you taking Joe DiMaggio's place for the New York Yankees.
That's right.
You know, I used to pitch for the Hollywood Stars, and boy, I'll never forget my last game. There were 5 men on base.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait. 5 men on base. Now, that's impossible.
Did you ever see the Hollywood Stars play?
Ennis, I've seen the Hollywood Stars, and I don't remember you.
Oh, I've changed a lot since then. I had the biggest buck teeth you ever saw. I was the only man on the team that could slide into second base and spike you from either end. Well, so long, Fatso.
So long, Skinny. So long. Hey, you know that Skinny would make an ugly skeleton?
All right. Costello, don't waste time with him. Now, you've got to get ready for the opening game.
Yes, I think we're going to play the Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians, eh?
Uh-huh.
Feller pitching?
Certainly there's a feller pitching. Who do you think they'd use, a girl?
Oh, I know they don't use a girl. I said feller pitching.
What feller?
Feller with the Cleveland Indians.
Look, Abbott, there's 9 guys on the Cleveland team. Now, which feller are you talking about?
Feller that pitches. There is only one feller with Cleveland.
You mean 9 Yankees are going to play against one feller?
That's right.
You mean there's no fellas in the outfield?
No.
And there's no fellas in the infield?
No, Cleveland only has one feller.
Well, this fella must be pretty good if he don't need any other players but himself.
Look, all the players will be out there helping him.
You just said there was only one feller on the team.
That's right.
Then where did all them other fellers come from?
Oh, you idiot. When I say there's only one feller on the team, I mean there is only one feller that pitches.
Well, Abbott, when the manager of the team wants this pitcher, what does he call him?
Feller.
You mean he just hollers, "Hey, feller!" And this guy knows that they mean him?
That's right. His name is Feller, Bob Feller. And when I say there is only one feller on the team that pitches, that's it. And the feller that pitches is Feller. There's only the other fellers on the team, but there's only one feller.
Boy, are you mixed up. Oh, you mean the feller that pitches is feller. And there's other fellas on the team, but they're not fellas?
Now you grasp it.
Yes, I grasp it, but it keeps slipping out of my hand.
Let's go into this sporting goods store and get your baseball equipment. I want you to look right for the opening game. Now, go ahead and ask that lady there where they keep the baseball uniforms.
Pardon me, miss.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Albert.
Hello.
And Mr. Costello.
Hello.
You fought, little mon, you.
What are you doing in the sporting goods store, miss?
Oh, I just stopped in to get a gift for my nephew. I'm buying him a Boz ball.
Boz ball? Abbott, you know what a Boz ball is. That's what the poocher throws to the coocher. And the booter tries to boot a home run.
My nephew is just a lotto chope, but his ambition is to be a Brooklyn Dodger catcher.
Well, if he's only a little guy, why don't he join the Deep Troot Tougers and be a short stoop?
Well, I must be going. As we say in Chinese, Isha gooey hot suey on to you.
And a dish of gooey chop suey and a puss for you, too.
Hey, look, that fella. Here comes the salesman now.
Oh, good morning, boys. As Johnny Weissmuller said to Buster Crabbe, what dive did you come out of?
Well, my friend and I are here to get some baseball equipment. I'd like to see a baseball uniform that would fit Costello.
So would I. Look, as Adam said to Eve, quit ribbing me. However, I'll do the best I can. We'll start with the spiked shoes. What size do you wear?
8.
Oh, let me see. I've only got one pair left, and they're size 5. Maybe you can squeeze into them, Costello. Go ahead and try.
Okay. What do you know? Open-toed baseball shoes.
Now for the uniform. My, you're certainly a pudgy little rascal, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you overweight?
I'm about 120 pounds overweight. but I'm going back to my normal weight.
Yes, what's normal?
60 pounds overweight.
Costello, you should really go on a diet. Yeah, of course you know what a diet is, don't you?
Oh, sure. That's where you can eat all you want of everything you don't like.
Young man, if you really want to reduce, why don't you exercise with a couple of dumbbells?
Okay, I'm ready whenever you and Abbott are.
All right.
Cut that out. Oh, we've got to get your baseball equipment. Mister, do you have any bats?
Oh, certainly. Here's a fine bat. Autographed by Slaughter of the Cardinals. This bat was made for Slaughter.
Ain't you got one that was made for baseball?
When he says Slaughter, he means Slaughter, the baseball player.
Slaughter, the baseball player? With that bat, you could slaughter anybody.
No, Costello. I'm talking about Slaughter. Everybody knows Slaughter. He knows Slaughter.
Well, maybe he knows Slaughter, but I don't know him.
You idiot. Everybody knows Slaughter, the baseball player. Slaughter is the man's last name.
What's his first name?
He knows.
Now, there's a clever guy. He knows his first name.
Oh, forget about the bat. Look, mister, do you have a baseball cap that will fit Costello's head?
What size pencil sharpener does he wear? Oh, a baseball cap. Oh, yes, here's a dandy. This is the kind fella wears.
What fella?
The fella with the Cleveland Indians.
There's 9 players with the Cleveland Indians. Which fella are you talking about?
Oh, young man, when I say fella with the Cleveland Indians, I am only referring to one fella. The fellow that pitches for the Cleveland Indians.
When you say the fellow with the Cleveland Indians, you're only referring to one fella. The fellow that pitches for the Cleveland Indians.
Yes. As Orville said to Wilbur, you're right.
How do you like that? Now they're doing our routines in sporting goods stores.
Oh, forget about him, Costello. Hey, wait a minute. I've got an idea. Mrs. Wetwash's late husband used to be a big league ball player. Now, he was a home run king, in other words. Now, maybe she'll give you one of his bats for good luck. Let's go over to her house and ask her.
Oh, okay. I'll go right over now, huh? You're right, Abbott. As John Adams said to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. How do you like that? I forgot what John Adams said to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
Well, good morning, Mrs. Wetwash.
Oh, hello, Mr. Abbott. Oh, my, you know you ought to muzzle that St. Bernard dog. Oh, pardon me, it's Costello. Tell me, Costello, how are things in Gawker, moron?
Mrs. Whitwash, I wish you hadn't said that. I was just telling Abbott your face reminds me of a rose.
Oh, really? An American Beauty rose?
No, a rhinoceros.
Shut up, Costello. Mrs. Wetwash, Costello's leaving for New York to join Joe DiMaggio's place. Take Joe's place. Isn't that wonderful? He's going to play with the Yanks.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yes?
What do those big Yanks want with a little jerk like him?
Mrs. Whitwash, that was an insult. I'll have you know that beautiful women find me irresistible.
I don't find you irresistible.
And I don't find you beautiful.
Quiet, Costello. Ask her for those baseball bats her husband left her.
Okay. Mrs. Whitwash, I understand when your husband was alive, he had a lot of old bats.
That's a lie. He never went out with anybody but me.
No, Mrs. Wetwash. Costello means your husband's baseball bats. You see, he thought you might give him one of them.
Yes, that's right, Mrs. Whitwash. You see, I need a good bat.
Oh, you need a good bat. I'll be glad to help you out.
Can I have the bat right now?
Right now.
Presents lovely Marilyn Maxwell for Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of The Sea of Grass. For Camel fans everywhere and in honor of New Orleans Jazz Week, Marilyn sings for the first time on the air the title song of the picture, New Orleans.
Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans and miss it each night and day? I know I'm not wrong, the feeling's getting stronger the longer I stay away. Miss the moss-covered vines, the tall sugar pines, where mockingbirds used to sing. And I'd like to see the lazy Mississippi hurrying into spring. The moonlight on the bayou, a Creole tune that fills the air. I dream about magnolias in June And soon I'm wishing that I were there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans when that's where you left your heart? And there's something more. I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans. More than I miss New
According to a recent nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
3 leading independent research organizations asked this question of 113,597 doctors. What cigarette do you smoke, doctor? The brand named most was Camel. Now, you probably enjoy rich, full flavor and cool mildness in a cigarette just as much as doctors do. And that's why, if you're not a Camel smoker now, try a Camel on your T-zone. That's T for taste and T for throat. Your true proving ground for any cigarette. See if Camel's rich flavor of superbly blended choice tobaccos isn't extra delightful to your taste. See if Camel's cool mildness isn't in harmony with your throat. See if you, too, don't say, Camels suit my T-zone to a T.
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager, gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
I certainly do.
Well, you know, I never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you their names, but you know, strange it may seem, they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names, like Dizzy Dean and...
His brother Daffy?
Daffy Dean.
I'm their French cousin.
French?
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean, oh, I see. Well, let's see, we have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You're going to be the coach, too?
Yes.
And you know the fellow's name?
Oh, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing
Who
first.
is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Look, you got a first baseman.
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on
He
first?
does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name to the
Who?
contract? The guy.
Who?
How does he sign his
That's
name?
how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the players.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm only asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about him. Now, let's
How did I get on third base?
Why, you mentioned his name.
If I mention a third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third again. Will you stay on third base and don't go off it?
All right, I don't even know.
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
What is on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base! Look, you got outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who is playing first?
I'm not... Stay out of the infield! I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base! And the left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, he's center field.
Look, you got a pitcher on the team.
Sure.
The pitcher's name.
Tomorrow?
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you,
Then
man.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow you're going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen, who is not pitching?
I'll break your arm, you say, who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base.
Now the catcher?
Certainly.
The catcher's name.
Today.
And tomorrow's pitcher.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days on the team. You know, I'm a catcher catcher, too.
So they tell
I
me.
get behind the plate, do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and a heavy hitter gets up.
Yes.
Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I'm going to throw the guy out of first base, so I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now, that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you have to do.
It's to throw the ball at first base.
Yes.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
If I throw the ball at first base, somebody's got to get it. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
Naturally?
Naturally.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to Naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball in the hole.
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying that.
I throw the ball to Naturally.
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
Listen, you asked me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you.
Don't take them away.
Same as you.
Now get it over.
I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball and the guy runs a second.
Yes.
Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to I don't know. I don't know, throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Yes.
Another guy gets up and it's a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third and I don't give a darn.
What?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
I'm in here.
We'll be back in just a moment for Camel cigarettes. During the war, the makers of Camel cigarettes sent a total of more than 150 million free Camels to our fighting men overseas. Now free Camels are sent to servicemen's hospitals instead. This week, the Camels go to Veterans Hospital, Fort Lyon, Colorado, USAAF Station Hospital, Davis-Monson Field, Tucson, Arizona, U.S. Naval Hospital, Quantico, Virginia, U.S. Marine Hospital, Baltimore, Maryland, and Veterans Hospital, Palo Alto, California. Camel broadcasts go out to the United States 3 times a week. Are rebroadcast to practically every area in the world where men are still stationed and to our good neighbors in Central and South America. And now back to Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
What is that, Lou, you've got in your hand there? Another telegram?
Hey, Abbott, look, I just got a telegram from Joe DiMaggio.
Well, go ahead and read it.
Okay. Dear Lou, just heard your show. I think you have the makings of the world's greatest natural ball player. You have spiked teeth, a club head, and you've been off your base for years.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody, and a special good night to Joe DiMaggio. Get well quick, Joe.
Listen to Abbott and Costello again next Thursday night when Costello is going to build himself a new prefabricated house. You can imagine the trouble he'll get into. I don't know whether it'll be a 1-story house or a 2-story house, but anyway, that's another story.
You're listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio.